everyone. Welcome to the Modern Merchant Podcast. Today, I've got Mike Buzzell from NBTV Channels. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so we and you, we go back a while. It's been a while since we spoke, so I'm really excited to hear what's new with NBTV. And I really kind of learned a little bit more, just get reacquainted with the business. I know you guys have a really unique business. I'm sure it'll be super interesting to our listeners to learn more about how you guys blend the entertainment side with the commerce side. So if you don't mind, give us a quick overview of NBTV Channels and kind of what you guys do. That'd be a great place to start.
Sure. So just from our origins, we started out as a production company and always had been working directly with brands, and also did some video commerce and video interactive types of projects. So there was a point in time, I'll say back in 2015, somewhere around 2016, where we decided we had an opportunity to kind of merge the two. So basically, we work directly with brands and other partners, and then we handle the creative for the shows. They're specifically tailored to the brand's product, but they're not like a 30-second commercial, mid-roll, pre-roll, post-roll. Basically, we have several channels: spirits, golf, coming out with pets, and automotive. We also have a culinary channel that we just launched. So each of these verticals basically kind of support each other. We look at the cross-pollination of how they can do e-commerce. We create the content. We talk with the brands and the partners, and we talk about the products that they want to present inside the content, and we create entertainment around that, as well as the platform that we have is I would say it's probably the first e-commerce type platform out there in the ecosystem. So basically that's the gist of what we do. We've been doing production for many, many years. So again, it was just we just felt there was an opportunity here to bring these two things together, given how commercial and things are kind of working. People don't want to see pre-roll, post-roll. They want something more integrated that doesn't interrupt their viewing pleasure, so to speak.
Gotcha. So just to kind of repeat it back to you, right? You've got Golf Nation, you have Spirits Network, you've got a pet network coming out as well.
Yeah.
And your primary customer are the brands that want to advertise. So like a golf brand wants to advertise on Golf Nation.
Yeah,
alcohol,
exactly.
Things like
So, yeah, some of the, our primary customers are that, but also the user on the other end. Basically, we've picked these niches and I'll say probably more the specialty aspects of these niches and these vertical markets, because we just feel that they're underserved. So so basically we work with the brands directly. We work with all the golf brands, spirit brands. We work pretty much with all of those folks. Sometimes they're local, small companies, that don't have an opportunity to do a lot of marketing.
Yeah.
So we partner with them. So that's pretty much our customer facing.
The distribution for your entertainment. So Golf Nation, where kind of usually are you guys mostly getting eyeballs from streaming online? Is it through local cable networks? Where can someone watch Golf Nation?
So our platform, besides the web and iOS and some of those other Android platforms, we also have launched on Apple TV. We also have launched on Vizio TV. So we're actually, I'll say, tapping into, with our unique platform, tapping into the OTT space more so than the web and the mobile. Although those are part of our platforms, are really the OTT smart TV spaces are really something that we feel we've done a pretty good job with so far, and that's really where our customers really want to go with their product and their entertainment.
Okay, yeah, this is all new for me. So OTT it stands for what now?
Over the top technology.
And that's like through what? If I've got like a Vizio TV, or I've got a TV and I have Apple TV, it's through Apple TV I can find your episodes, or?
Correct. Yeah, you'll find our application. We have several approaches to this. One is a fast channel, which is really, again, it's like typical linear TV. Then we have our app, which really gets you into, like, you create a profile, it gets you into a personalization. We have a recommendation engine that provides you some insights and some new things. And so once you set your profile up, you're able to watch the content. We provide a mechanism called a product shelf that actually comes up during the right time in the content where you can actually buy the product that's being discussed.
Right.
So it's not really a hard sales pitch per se. It's it's kind of a soft sales pitch, but it has more relevance to the user, we feel, than just a typical ad for 30 seconds or 15 seconds.
Yeah, you guys are really kind of, like you mentioned, leading the way on this. You see it a little bit in the U.S. I know it's huge in China, right? But it seems like it's really hasn't picked up as much. We've heard of other companies out there kind of trying it, but it sounds like because you guys are vertically integrated, that that's really kind of the secret sauce and what makes it possible for you to kind of do this. Would you say that's kind of what differentiates you from your competitors? Is this vertical integration, or how do you guys compete so well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the vertical integration are obviously our technology. It's like when we started this, there's really nobody doing this out in the industry per se. You'll see a QR code or something like that, doing some of this. But our setup, our technology lets you actually buy, like an end cap on a store. It's like it lets you click and buy, and off you go, if you have your profile set up correctly, and then it lets you build a shopping cart. So again, it's a lot different, and like I said, the content is really I'll say it's some of the secret sauce, which is it's not just pitching car ads or we're really talking about, like with golf, we're talking to the pros about how they golf, what they like, sports tools that they like to work with, trainers. Sure. Those types of things. So it's more than just, like I said, a sales pitch in that. And the upside with the verticals is we always look for common, I'll say, connecting tissue, if you would, where or if it's golf and it's spirits, there's some commonality, like the 19th hole, right? If it's golf and it's, or it's automotive, for instance, is one of the channels we're looking at, there's another play with one of the other verticals. With our newest culinary show, that's called the Pantry. It's with Tom Colicchio, Iron Chef. And, that can cross-pollinate against many of these different verticals. So that's the other part that we're doing. It's not just like, one size fits all. We're really looking at the audience in total and saying, hey, where's the opportunity that I think a lot of these verticals aren't looking at right now because they're used to being in their own siloed space.
Right. Well, Cole, you kind of touched on it. It sounds like a lot of proprietary tech, but just in general, maybe you can just talk about the under this hood kind of languages or whatever it might be. But what is the tech stack, right? The modern merchant would like to talk about commerce and really how you use technology to empower that. So can you talk through some of your tech stack you use on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. I mean, basically, we're cloud-based on most of everything. We're using a lot of Amazon type of components, I would say. We are partnering with some e-commerce companies and also you guys from our delivery and order perspective. The thing really is my experience with technology has been it can do almost anything for you. It's just you have to pick the right ones that kind of go better together and kind of step into those spaces. One of the reasons why we have FlexPoint is because, again, your experience with the whole distribution and dropship type of mentality and technology. We do have a lot of suppliers that we work with, a lot of providers that we work with on all the scope of the network. And basically, when we use your product as the hub. So having those multiple suppliers and partners, we can actually determine from both a delivery perspective. So I would say most people will tell you that shipping cost is probably the biggest challenge. So the closer we can get to the customer on shipping product to them, the lower those costs tend to be, right? And in some cases with partners, we've got large athletic partners that we work with that basically, have almost same-day delivery. Now, I won't say exactly, but for the most part, they have facilities close to a lot of addresses, so they can get the product there to the consumer within a day or two, at best. And some of them are a little bit longer because they have special customizations like engraving or stuff like that. So, and then some of it's just we try to address on some of the channels the hard to get products. Things that are very maybe scarce in a particular area, or something that's of a greater value to the customer. So it's not like we're selling, or we're pitching and marketing, small, off the shelf, lower shelf, if you would, products. We're looking at the mid to high tier, of most of this stuff, whether it's golf clubs or anything else.
Right, because you're watching the television show, you're in the app, you're not looking to just go shop and browse. You want to find a product that's wowing you to some extent, or is really placed well in that actual episode, and something that you want. It is a little bit more high end potentially in most cases, I would assume.
And we're trying to make it as frictionless for the user as possible. I think a lot of times, even with you look at some of the traditional linear channels, they're using QR code, which means it takes you to another device, and it does. We have some of that in our platform only because we're trying to get people to transition, if you would, from that to a real being able to use the remote, okay, as opposed to your video or your cell phone or your smartphone as the controlling factor. So when the product shows up in the content, the pop-up allows you to use the remote control to either get information, put it on your wish list, or buy it immediately, or add it to cart. So that's, I think, the key differentiator that we provide. And then again, that the content is tailored to the product as opposed to being just kind of a one-size-fits-all buckshot approach to the advertising and so forth.
Now, is your business model, your revenue model, the commerce sales through dropship is a portion of it. Is that the main? Is there other income streams, or is that the main income stream?
Yeah, I mean, again, what we saw is a great opportunity, because a lot of times with brands and stuff, they don't really own the content that they get made by the industry or the ad agencies. They rent it, basically. They have it created, and they have a period of time which they can own it, and then that goes away unless they pay more upcharges, right? So basically, with us, our production company is the key component of our business. Again, like I said, we do everything from soup to nuts regarding. A client will come to us and say, "Hey, I've got a brand. I want really to get it out there. I want the message to be different. I don't like a 30-second commercial. I want more interest from the user in terms of what they're seeing, and they need they feel good about the fact that they're just not being sold to. They're being entertained at the same time." So our production business definitely feeds into our revenue stream, as well as our partnerships, depending on what they are with each of these vertical industries.
Gotcha. So yeah, you bring on a brand, you do some production services for them, and then at one point maybe it makes sense to bring them on as a dropship partner, right? Can you talk about that onboarding process? I'm looking at your account now and kind of some of the partners you have configured. I see kind of the ways that you configured to be connected. It looks like a lot of times directly into their systems. So I'd love to you guys do that.
Yeah, we found that. I mean, again, that's one of the values of us using FlexPoint is that you already have a lot of built-in integrations to like Shopify and some of these other systems. We're also using the CSV file and some of those types of approaches that you guys provide. But obviously, when we start working with a partner or a dropship partner, they don't want to make this a lot of work for themselves, and we don't want to make it a lot of work for them. Right, so being able to directly integrate into, let's say, their Shopify app, that's what they're using, or through a CSV file with an FTP connection, or whatever else we can leverage, makes it much easier for them. So that's basically for us, that's basically the key element. Plus, again, FlexPoint as a hub provides us a better insight across across the board, all the different products that we have, and how they can play one into the other and help co-sale, if you would, the products.
Yeah, good point. You bring them all into one central spot, and then you can kind of cross-promote them. Yeah.
It's also, I mean, again, part of our system also, provides us the I'll say the key metrics around location, geolocation, that sort of things, and we can see in many cases, where a particular area, in the U.S. specifically, might have an interest in pets and golf, or might have a big interest in, some other vertical. And that's what we try to make sure we address in terms of the opportunities. And a lot of these opportunities and connecting pieces really aren't something that, I'll say the brands have done in the past. It's been hard for them to do it. They all tend to want to be in a vertical way. They don't want to play, necessarily, with some of their competitors, but that's what we're kind of trying to pollinate here is just that notion that, while you may have a great product in today's world, everybody's looking for a deal. Everybody's looking for like some sort of ancillary connection to something else that can add value to their purchase and their entertainment. And that's where we head.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. What's on the agenda for the rest of the year? Anything big, anything new, or you guys just kind of full steam ahead as usual?
No, I mean, we just, in terms of big, we're looking to launch more channels. I mentioned the pet channel. We're looking at other partners. I mean, there's a lot of interest in this. I think a lot of, I'll say, folks or businesses are trying to do this, and I feel, I mean, again, not that we're the only one out there, but I think we've done it very well to this point. And there's I guess, an inclination from brands and stuff to really want to own their content for whatever long period of time that is. They want to be able to leverage their content in a way that gives them like the social networking, gives them all of the particular platforms that they can be present on. And then from a sales perspective, it really presents their product in a real positive way, in a real interesting way, and drives their revenue.
Yeah, and just to kind of maybe wrap it up on just the industry as a whole, like I said, super interesting. We don't see it as much as I thought we might have, this far, the 2020, almost 2025, but we see it in other countries, right? So like, what do you what are you excited for the next 5-10 years, right? Like, what do you see evolving? Do you just see this becoming more pervasive? Is there any certain industries or angles that you see? Like, how do you see the industry going? What gets you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I see it being more pervasive. I mean, I will tell you that we started pitching this concept back in 2008. And it's been a tough road because a lot of people just couldn't wrap their heads around some of the things that we're doing. Like, for instance, even partnering with other content partners, and they would say, well, they'll never let you put their content on your network and all that stuff, and they will never put it on the internet. So it was early days, right? So it's like issues of bandwidth and all that stuff which we knew were going to be changing over time, and so. Those were those types of challenges that we were facing with investors and VCs and whomever else we were talking to. I think we're still a little bit ahead of the curve on some of this, but I think we've demonstrated that this stuff is doable. And the exciting part of it is that people are now starting to, or brands or companies are starting to catch on and really see. We actually demonstrate how this can work, right? And we do it every day. So I think that's probably the most exciting part for us, given the fact that we've kind of beat the drum for a number of years, that people are starting to catch on and say, hey, this is really something that can work for us.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Mike, is there anything we didn't touch on that might be worth kind of speaking to, or you think we talked a good bit about?
No, I just, like I said, let me say about the product FlexPoint, and if I could say this, it's just like, it's kind of overwhelming when you first get it, but that's a good thing because it has so much functionality. And once you get into it and learn it, it's amazing. I can't express enough how much it's helped us and will continue to help us. The rules-based engines, all of the things that you guys have, as part of that, the integration points, from our perspective, that would be probably another area that we could use some help with, is because we're dealing with a lot of people that are using a lot of different e-commerce type platforms. And, some of these are kind of like, one-offs or that, but there's a huge market out there. So if we can get more of those interfaces done, a little bit sooner than later, that provides a better circumstance for us using the product. But for the most part, we're pretty happy with the reporting, the business rules engine, all the aspects of FlexPoint.
Awesome. Love to hear it, Mike. Appreciate that. And always good to catch up with you. So thanks for joining.
All right. Take care.
Go.